sparkly look using the kind of glitter stuff I showed in one of the previous videos. So I'm starting out with some concealer by Ilmakiage under my eyes. I've got a little discoloration, put a little bit on my forehead, and we're going to get into this look. So I'm going to kind of maybe make this part go a little faster, fast forward through this, and then we'll get to the eyes. I am so impressed with this Ilmakiage stuff. I decided to use it just to clean up my eyebrow area, but like honestly, I could probably have just put this on the whole face and not used anything other than concealer on my face. It just did such a nice job. If you guys haven't tried Ilmakiage, I do like their foundation as well, but honestly, I think I kind of liked the creamy concealer that I just put on better. Now I'm using this Pure. It's a tinted moisturizer in a really nice neutral color, and I like it a lot. This is a good color for my skin. It's a good tinted moisturizer. I put very little on because I didn't really need much since I used that concealer. This is just to make sure that the skin tone is even, and sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a lighter tint versus a full-out heavy foundation, especially during the summer months. All right, moving on to some bronzer. Let's get some color in this face. This is the Jouer bronzer. There's a light shade and a dark shade in here. I love this. It's very good. If you have not tried this, I also really like their blush duos too. Totally worth checking out. I think Jouer is a little bit of an underrated brand when it comes to some of their face stuff. I don't really know if they've got like eyeshadow, but I've used their blush and their bronzer and love it. All right, now let's get started on these eyes. So we have a birthday party to go to for a little girl, Ella, who is turning 4. So I just dipped into the lightest shade of the Natasha Denona Love Glam Face Palette. I did decide to go here and use this little tool just to help with the shaping of the eye. I will tell you that this palette, while it's not super universal as far as like being a good like daily palette, does have this shade's beautiful #1, but does make a beautiful pink eye. And I think it'll be a good companion palette if you would like to use it in conjunction with other things. Like I am going to be adding the sparkly glitter topper to make this beautiful pink eye look for this birthday party. But the shadows work just like the rest of the Natasha Denona ones do. They're creamy, they blend really well. They're just easy to use. This is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. This is a very pretty light bubblegum pink shade, and it's just gorgeous. And it's got a little bit of depth to it. You can see it kind of almost at the top blends out into like a little bit of a different shade. So it kind of looks like I have 2 shades on my lid, even though I've just used one. Now I've dipped in a little bit more, just sort of to get that same color look all through the eye. Really thought that was a beautiful shade. Very happy using this. I didn't put it up far enough, trying to match up the eyes, so moving it up a little bit. This tool just gives you a nice crease, a nice line, so you're not going all over. Since I already did my foundation, I figured maybe this would make good sense. All right, so now I'm just going in with the darker kind of like fuchsia shade in the palette and just sort of putting that in the crease. I went back over the top just blending, but we just, on the outside, I just put that kind of hot flamingo pink or fuchsia shade. Now we're going into this dark shade here. We're going to deepen up the outer corner. You can see that's giving me a really nice sharp line there. You can actually soften that a little bit with your brush, or just take a little beauty blender at the end and soften that line a little bit. So these eyes are a little bit harder. This corner was a little harder, I think, to do than the other eye. As you'll see, this color's a little tough. You got to be careful with it. You can get it to blend out nicely, but it did start off giving me a little bit of patchiness. It could just be because I'm old and have wrinkly eyelids, or maybe because I'm not an expert at doing makeup and I just play. Either way, I did find I had a little bit of trouble with this darker shade today, and it was just giving me, it darkened up and gave me the shadow I wanted, and here I'm going with the beauty blender just to try to clean that up. But yeah, I just had a little bit of trouble with the shade, so I'm not sure if it was it was my issue. Maybe it's just I didn't do a good application. Maybe I didn't put enough on my brush. I don't know. I'm not really sure because I think this side ends up coming out really darker. And then I end up having to go back and darken the other side up. So it comes out kind of smoky for a birthday party. I was trying to keep it a little light, but you know, you got to make the eyes match, friends. And sometimes you go a little ham on one eye and then you got to fix the other eye. And you know how it goes. It's just the way that it is.
You show up thirsty, staring at me like I can do something for you. You lick your lips, you think you're slick. You stalk like I'm a piece of meat. You're trying out and showing off, so flashy, don't do jack for me. You're such a troll, out of control.
All right, now just adding a little bit of liner to the lower lash. Realize that this liner is not working. It's garbage. All right, now moving on. We are probably using the Milani liner. That's usually a really good one. I'm using something similar going in. Just made a mistake. I'll have to clean that up. Oh, Terry. So maybe we're going to make a little smudged out bottom eye. You just got to go with the flow, friends. Sometimes you make mistakes and you just got to go with the flow. I think I'm going to do top liner as well first. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're using a glitter. And I feel like, so I'm doing some underlining under the main top lid. But I feel like the liner is not going to go over that glitter well. And I'm going to just sort of gently tap that glitter over the lid and be done and then use some mascara. So let me see. I can't remember what I did because this was weeks ago. Yep, here we go. So we've got our Beauty Pie liner and I'm going to make hopefully a thin line. Sometimes I make one thin and one thick and then again I've got to fix it and then they both have to be thick and it's just, oh, it's a pain in the dupayage, my friends. A pain in the dupayage. If you're Polish, you know what that means. If you're not Polish, you could probably figure it out. So it looks like I just did a little bit of a half one there. I don't know if I go across and do the whole thing. I'm just sort of learning how to do these wings. I suck at it. I'm not good at it, but it's practice makes perfect. And sometimes you just got to play and you've got to just try to figure it out. So here I'm not happy. I'm going to have to hold my hand and now try to fix this mess because I didn't have a steady hand when I did this. So this side is a freaking mess. Hopefully we can get it to a point where we are okay with it. So I was just trying to do it on the outer edge so we're not taking away. But now I'm looking, my wings are not cleaned up and they both look so different. So I'm just trying to kind of make that one a little bit longer to match the one that we did. That's all we can do is just try, right? Because this is hard. It's hard to do a wing liner. Nobody ever taught me how to do it. I don't know who taught you guys. I know that Sephora used to do classes on it. I don't know if people just learn it, but I've just sort of learned it from figuring it out myself. So the line was being lumpy, so I just took my finger and went across the top. So there we are. We kept that to the outer edge, kind of opened the eyes up a little bit, give it a little definition, and but not close in the entire eye. All right, we got to finish up the lower eye. I'm really loving the blend on this look so far, though. Really beautiful. So I'm taking the really dark purple shade that I had a little bit of trouble with, and I'm kind of going over that black and keeping that very, very close with this little brush to the lower lash line, closest to the eyeball as I can, but just really kind of pulling that dark shade together and connecting it. And it looks like maybe I'm going to go in, with a little bit and see, I can see that that's patchy right there. So I think I'm just going in with a little bit more and just trying to see if I can get it to blend a little bit better. I mean, this is what I was talking about. You could see I was just having some issues. And it could be that I have like moisturizer or something that got on my eye that, it's not working with. It could be a bunch of factors. I don't remember having this problem the first time I used this palette. So it could just be that I've got something on my eye. I use that concealer. So that could be it as well. So, and again, I'm just kind of evening out the other side and adding that to the other eye as well, which the other eye kind of looks better. The blend looks better on the other eye. Anyway, let's see if we can get it figured out. All right, finishing up the bottom lash and using the real sparkly shade from the inner corner about halfway on the eye, just to give a little sparkle on the bottom as well. So I think now I'm ready, but I want to use this Mora Cosmetics. This is like a liquid metal shadow, and we're going to use that on the main lid. The reason I'm using it is the glitter needs something to stick to, and I really don't have a glitter primer, but I highly recommend a glitter primer with what I'm about to use. This is gorgeous. Maybe I should have just left it just using that beautiful Mora shade. If you guys haven't checked out Mora Cosmetics, you need to. Also, Natasha is one of my faves. So I go a little bit higher than the crease here because I'm going to be putting glitter on. You can see this is what I wanted to use. I just needed it to stick to something. But I will tell you, and as gorgeous as that is, it made a huge mess. So I'm going in the crease here just to clean it up a little bit. But I had pink glitter all over my face this day. I will say the look was definitely beautiful, definitely sparkly, going in with a light shade and just blending that in so that it's not so crazy. Look at that glitter shine. Ooh, so beautiful. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we're going to get ourselves some lashes. So I'm going to put you to some music.
You show up thirsty, staring at me like I can do something for you. You lick your lips, you think you're slick. You stalk like I'm a piece of meat. You're trying out and showing off, so flashy, don't do jack for me. You're such a troll, out of control. I wish I could just hit delete. Why you gotta ruin this for us? Spoil the fun, just be done. I have seen enough to call your bluff. Oh, didn't come here for you. Knew you killing the mood. Oh, you being so rude. Get out of my way. Didn't come here to fight. Carry on with.
All right, let's take a close-up look at the face. So I had used this cheek palette, the Natasha Denona cheek palette, but it wasn't recording. It's a glow and highlight, and now I'm going in and I'm just going to use this ABH brow pencil. I don't usually do much with my brows. They have good pigmentation, they're a decent shape, so I'm just going to darken these up just a little bit with this wax, fill them in a little bit. I don't typically do much with this, and then I'll use the spoolie on the end. I probably need to do something where I'm like getting a little bit better of a shape, and I don't know, I probably need to do something with my eyebrows. I don't mind my eyebrows. I like the shape of them. I like they're not too thick, they're not too thin, so I typically don't go crazy. I don't do the really crazy eyebrows that other people do. That's just not a look I like. So I'm just filling in any kind of little areas that are sparse, and then I'm going to use the spoolie and get that. So this looks like a little bit, like this is a good color for me, like a kind of a brown shade, not too dark. So I do like this. It does make a little difference, and I'm combing those hairs kind of up and then down. So get that color all the way through the eyebrow, as you can see here. Voila, we are done, pretty much. Just kind of putting that tail up a little bit if I can. Yeah, but I like it. And I actually really love how the eyes and cheeks came out together. I think those two look nice together. Both those were Natasha Denona's. So we'll see here. All right, let's keep going. So now we got to do lips. This was Gerard Cosmetics, and I think it was like almost completely, like I need to sharpen it. If I remember, it was like scratching my lip here. But I was like, I can get enough out of here first, and then I'll just sharpen it before I use it again. So this is a beautiful mauve shade that I use quite a lot from them. It's a good lip liner if you guys are looking for a good one. Gerard has good ones. It's creamy, and it stays for a good portion of the day. I'm probably going to put a gloss on. I don't remember what I used. Oh, this is a ColourPop lippy stick. I do not believe this color is available any longer, but I can link ColourPop's lipsticks if you want to find something similar. That matched so good, kind of keeping with the whole theme color that we're doing. Of course, she did not notice my sparkly eyes because she was too busy with all of her presents. but I knew, and it was also just an excuse to try that glitter out. So this is the Wet n Wild gloss. It has a little pink, purple, and blue shift to it. I have like a duochrome gloss. It's their Goddess gloss. Beautiful gloss. They comes in lots of different colors too. I would try those out too. Now this is the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes Mascara. I'm going to use that and kind of, it's got a nice big wand, kind of fan out those lashes on the side and really make it pull your eyes up a little bit. So this is a good mascara. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, and it's expensive, but it is a good mascara. It does lengthen your lashes pretty good. So if you're looking for length, I think it does that. I don't know that it's doing enough for me for volume. And I think if I remember correctly, I also liked it on this mascara on the bottom lash too.
You show up thirsty, staring at me like I can do something for you. You lick your lips, you think you're slick. You stalk like I'm a piece of meat. You're trying out and showing off, so flashy.
And finally, our review. You can see I do have a lot of fallout from this glitter, and it did get worse as we went through the day. I do kind of like that half line up on the top, though. What do you guys think? Let me know.